Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing the new Kia Sorento. Before we get into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch automatic. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 27 on the highway, with power outputs being 281 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, the new Sorento, especially the front end, looks a lot boxier. I mean, look at this design, and then the new headlight design as well. And one of the cool things about the new Sorento is it actually has ambers now for the daytime running lights. So just like the Telluride, like a Ford Raptor, grill's all blacked out, and you can see parking sensors at the bottom as well. And so putting it all together, I think the new Sorento looks pretty sharp. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235, 65, 17 in the front, and over in the rear, you can see we've got these chunky kind of off-road style wheels, and we have off-road tires with this particular Sorento. And then look at the fender flares and the rest of the trim here, and then notice how everything's blacked out. And then here is the side profile with the Sorento. Now take a look at the key fob. You can see it's Kia's new fob, which has most of the stuff on the side, like the remote start, and you can see lock and unlock and all that. Kind of interesting. Now popping into the back, you can see the Sorento is a 3-row SUV. So first off, got a little carpeting mat here in the back. So with the third row up, not a ton of space, pretty typical. But with the third row folded down, plenty of space. And the third row passengers get some storage. You got a little USB. And in terms of these seats themselves, really nice trim. I mean, look at that. I think that's pretty sharp looking. Headroom is a little bit more limited in the Sorento just because of the sloped roof design, but legroom is not too bad for this segment. And when you're all done, just press that and that will lower the hatch right back down. Pretty similar taillights to before. I mean, they've been updated. And the rest of the back end, I think, is the part that looks the most similar to the previous gen Sorento. Now in the back, you can see we've got soft touch here at the top, and then we got a little sunshade, and then more nice trim down below. Got our heated seat here. You can see some storage, Bose sound system with this one. And then here the seats themselves, perforated all down the center. Got all of your adjustments and everything on the side. And then popping in, yeah, really easy. You can just slide across, little storage pocket. Got our vents here in the back. Got a bunch of charging ports as well. And then headroom. It's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel again. You've got all the nice trim just like the back. All of our window controls, mirror adjustments, and all of that. The mirrors do power fold in. Memory seats, and then blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then look at these front seats here. X-Pro for the packaging. See nice trim down the center. All of our adjustments and everything on the side. Pretty fancy looking pedals. And then you have this for the hatch, stability control, and then again nice trim all across the dash. Now take a look at the steering wheel. You can see nice trim all around, and then I like the two-tone design with this. Paddle shifters on the back. We got practical controls like our cruise control, lane centering, voice command controls, all of that. And then you got your regular stocks here on the back. Now here's a quick look at the gauge cluster. You can see, you can scroll through and see different bits of information on systems within the car. And we also have our drive mode select, which kind of give a fun little animation depending on the mode you go into. Now this does come with a 360 camera system, really good resolution. It's got the fun exterior shot too. So you can see exactly where you're at when you're parking. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time with the screen itself is quick, it's easy to use, and it's close enough to the driver that it's just, yeah, it's a nice system overall. Look at the trim down below with this. And then this is the part that I am annoyed with. I don't like this whole multifunction control. I get the point of it, but in reality it is kind of annoying to have to use. But the seats, they have physical buttons for them, so that's nice. And then we got our charging area down below. Then we have our shifter for that dual clutch, some cup holders, drive mode select. It also has a center locker. And your heated steering wheel button's kind of in a random place. Auto stop start, parking sensors, auto hold, hail descent, parking brake, and then your camera button. I like the center console area, good storage, nice trim, and glove box, pretty solid. You can see camera, rear view mirror. It's always a nice feature. We got a big panoramic sunroof, and then this one has a premium headliner. This is similar to like a calligraphy Palisade with that. Okay, so we got the window sticker here on the phone screen, but basically fully loaded Sorento X-Pro SX-Prestige. 49,400, so it's under 50 grand, technically. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors do have blind spot running. And let's try to get the whole rear. There you go. Hopefully that showed that. But anyways, heated seat. Let's set off. Oh, setting off in the Sorento SX-Prestige X-Pro, yada, 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 yada. So I've been living with this for a week, and so I've got some opinions on it. First off, we'll start with just the general stuff. So being a modern unibody crossover, it drives well. For just normal day-to-day driving, it's pretty comfortable with the suspension. It's pretty quiet. Despite the boxier design, you don't really get a ton of wind noise or anything like that. And yeah, seats are comfortable. It's just a nice drive overall. And this turbocharged engine, you know, when you get into it, it's quick. You do get a bit of torque steer, funny enough, at least in the normal mode, I've noticed. It is all-wheel drive, but it does send more power to the front. Again, like most modern crossovers. But yeah, you can see here, we're not like super high speed, but higher speed, it's comfortable, it's quiet. Get a little bit of wind buffeting, but not above the norm with it. So overall, just a nice car. So let's get into my gripes. I already talked about this thing. I hate it. I just don't like it at all. I get the point of it. It's kind of like, it's one of those things that you see at first and you're like, that's cool. And then you use it and you're like, that's not cool. So there's that. And then the dual clutch. So I get the point of using a dual clutch. It's kind of sportier, all of that. I don't think it fits the character of this car, and it kind of gets annoying. Like when you're kind of, so with dual clutches, right, they like to either be engaged or not engaged. They don't like to do slow moving. So you can imagine this being a daily driver vehicle, you're going to be in traffic and all that kind of stuff, so sometimes it can just be upset. It doesn't like to have to do what you need it to do in certain traffic situations. Like this, that wasn't as bad as it normally is. But the point I'm trying to make is sometimes it does a little bit of lurchiness. The most annoying thing though is sometimes when you're a dead stop and you roll a little bit and then it like engages and then disengages, and so then like you have to, you know, get up and move pretty quickly. So you get into the throttle and there is a huge lag because it's a turbocharged car. It's like the clutch has to engage, and then you've got the turbo side of things, and it's just, it's a train wreck. I know I might be a little, I might sound a little bit dramatic, but it's just not all that smooth. So you know, they've got a good torque converter automatic. I think they should have maybe gone with that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about the new Sorento. Overall, great car. It's got a couple things, but every single car has a couple of things.